Hey everybody, I just wanted to make this video real quick. I didn't even pull my camera out. I'm just using my iPhone. I had a friend call me, and she has a friend that was recently diagnosed with breast cancer, and she was wanting me to talk to her to kind of maybe ease some of her fears. In August of 2015, I was diagnosed with stage 3C triple negative breast cancer. I was shocked. The first thought that came into my mind, when they say those words that, you have breast cancer was, am I going to die? I can't believe that I have this. I have something that inside of me that's trying to kill me. And I was just in shock. And then, I'm kind of embarrassed to say, my next thought was, I'm going to lose my hair. And I'm embarrassed of myself that was one of the first 3 or 4 things that popped into my head was I'm going to lose my hair. I had long curly hair and I loved my hair, and it upset me to think about losing it. And I was told by my oncologist that I would lose my hair after I started my chemotherapy regime. I did 8 weeks of something called AC, and one of those treatments is called the Red Devil, and it can cause mouth sores, and it's earned its name, the Red Devil. And one of the side effects is losing your hair. Now, I went online and I did all kinds of research of what I could do to stop from losing my hair. There's something called a penguin cap, and you put it on your head before chemotherapy, and it freezes the top of your head. I know it sounds gross. And it costs several thousands of dollars to initially get it, and then you pay $400 to $500 a month to keep using it. And you're going to have, I would have had to have used it for 6 months. So I would have had maybe $5,000 to $6,000 invested in this, and there was no guarantee that it would keep you from losing your hair. Obviously, I didn't have $5,000 or $6,000 to spend to keep from losing my hair. And my hair would not have been worth keeping because the texture changed as soon as I started. When I started chemotherapy, she told me it would be somewhere between my second and third treatment when my hair would fall out. So, most people, I went online and Googled, and they were losing it anywhere from 14 to 20 days. I kind of had it honed in that I thought it would be 2 weeks, maybe a little more. So I colored it. I thought it's going to look good until it falls out. So it wasn't really due, but I did it anyway. And then I started styling it in different ways just because I just wanted to get everything in. I was doing these fancy braids, and that was the first was week. I noticed after about a week that my hair just felt really dry, and it just was starting to look lifeless. And I really stressed out about it. I had nightmares about losing my hair. I dreamt that I would lay down at night, and when I would wake up, my hair would stay on the pillow. Now, I can't tell you the anxiety that built, and I'm not a person that suffers from anxiety, but the anxiety that built inside of me while I was waiting for my hair to fall out was way worse than the hair actually falling out. Probably about day 13, I carefully washed it, and I noticed there was some hair coming out in the shower, and I would hold the ends like this when I would comb it so that I wasn't tugging on it. Anything to just make it last longer, or maybe it would just bypass me by some miracle. I didn't want anyone to touch my hair. It was like, don't touch it. Then I put it in a ponytail, and I kind of threw it up in a messy bun, and I didn't touch it. I went to bed, I got up, and I just kind of moved that around. I didn't want to touch it because every time I touched it, some hair fell out. So I called Marcia. She's my friend that has done my hair for probably 30 years. And we talked about it, and she said, when you're ready, I'll help you. We'll shave it. And I'm like, I'm not there yet, but I'm going to be. And I had the exact same nightmare. I woke up and I was practically in tears. I looked at my pillow. There was some hair on my pillow. And I thought, this is ridiculous. I am stressing about this when I have so many things that are much more important than my hair. You know, my life was more important. And I made a decision on a Thursday. That would have been actually day 14. I went in for my treatment. It was day 14 from my first treatment. And I made my decision that I was going to shave it on Saturday. Now, I have 2 granddaughters. I have 3 now because I just had 1 born, but I had 2 at that time. And they were 10 and 9 at the time. And I saw them. I went out to our town has something called a Friendship Festival in September. We went out there that evening, and my granddaughters were there, and they came up and hugged me, and I asked them, I said, Riley, Kaylee, how'd you like to cut my hair? And they were like, what? And I said, yeah, how would you like to cut my hair? And they said, can we? And I said, yeah, you can. So I said, let's, come out Saturday, and you can spend the night. We'll have a cookout, and you can cut my hair. So Marcia came over on that Saturday. My sister-in-law Lori and her granddaughter Lucy, they came out, and we were just kind of laughing and kind of having a party. And it really helped me to have my 2 granddaughters there because I didn't want to get upset for them. I didn't want to cry. It made me hold it together. And I'm going to insert some pictures now of that evening. And I have to say my granddaughters had way too much fun cutting my hair. First off, they cut it from back here to my shoulders, and then they cut it in a bob, and then they gave me like a mohawk. And they were just having a good time. I'll put the picture in there, and you can see Riley. She's got a smirk on her face there. She was really enjoying herself. And that helped me. And I know Marcia, she said that it really had bothered her all day long. She was afraid that she was going to cry and that it was just going to be horrible. But actually having my granddaughters there, and then Lori and Lucy, it was okay. And as soon as it was done, I put on a little, like a bandana, and went about what I was doing. I didn't cry. I just went about what I was doing. We had a weenie roast, and I went to bed that night. My granddaughters were here. Got up the next morning. I went in the bathroom, and I looked in the mirror, and I took my bandana off. And I saw my bald head looking back at me, and I burst into tears. I cannot tell you what it did to me to look at me right at that moment. And it was shattering, and you can't imagine it. Some people may say, oh, it's no big deal. Well, until it happens, especially to a woman, it's earth-shattering. It is small in the big scheme of things. You need your treatment, and you need to get on with it. So I told my family, I need 1 hour. I need 1 hour to grieve my hair, and then I'm moving on. So I allowed myself that hour. I cried. I kind of looked in the mirror. I felt sorry for myself. And within an hour later, I said, okay, Jackie, you have the battle of your life. to face now. So I just picked myself up and I never looked back. I never grieved my hair, not for a minute after that. I didn't give it another thought. I had some wigs. I wore wigs. At first I wore them a lot because I felt more comfortable in them. Didn't like the hairline, so I wore a hat over them, and I'll insert some pictures here, and I tried to have some fun with them. And I think I did, yeah, and totally changed my look. And then as I got tired and just went along with my treatments, I started just wearing those bandanas and hats most of the time. And then it was cold and I wore stocking caps. And let me tell you, your head is cold. You would not believe how much insulation your hair gives you. I was freezing. I can't say I ever rocked a bald head because I didn't. I wore a hat. I wore a stocking cap, wore a bandana, or I wore a cute cap. You know, I wasn't comfortable, and it was cold. I was going through the winter, so it was cold. And you know, I have to admit, when my hair started growing back, I was so excited. I didn't care. I didn't care that some of it was coming in. Part of it was gray. It was coming in. So I was really excited about that. But any of you ladies out there that are getting ready to face this, I have to tell you that week leading up to your hair falling out is the worst. Once I made the decision, I felt better, and once I did it, I felt immensely better. It was empowering. Cancer can take so much from you, but I wasn't given it the control of when my hair fell out. I took control, and I decided when it was falling out, and it was so much better. And now, a year later, I have hair. I have eyebrows and eyelashes. I'll talk about that later. You know, I wasn't prepared for losing my eyelashes. I felt like I could put on a wig and a hat and I could go places, and I didn't have people looking at me thinking, oh, poor girl, you know, she's sick. But there's nothing you can do. You can draw on your eyebrows, but there's nothing you can do about your eyelashes. They're gone. So no matter what you did, you know, you could put some makeup on where it wasn't quite as noticeable, but I always felt like I was really excited when my eyelashes came back. Just the little things in life, you know? Now my hair has come back straight. You know, where'd that come from? Most people I know talk about rocking the chemo curls. Well, I had curly hair beforehand, and my hair is come back straight. So it's very soft, feels like new baby hair, and I like that. When I had my curly hair, the texture is rough to touch, but this is really soft, so I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying life. So you ladies, it isn't a death sentence. Losing your hair is traumatic. Don't let anybody make you feel bad for being upset about it. But it isn't the end of the world. It grows back. And I've learned a lot post-cancer, post-chemo. My hair doesn't define me. I was too busy before. I was meetings and clubs and classes and just felt like I was chasing my tail running around. I cut all that stuff out when I started treatments, and I'm not getting myself that busy again. I'm not going to do it. Life's too short. So if you are facing this or you know someone that is and they'd like to talk, just message me below and, I'll reach out to them. We can talk and hopefully I can help you through it, because there is life after it. It does go on and it isn't the end of the world. And your hair doesn't define you. And those are lessons that I learned. And I just wanted to share them with some other people. After I talked to this friend of a friend, I thought, there's other women out there. I know personally, when I was diagnosed, I spent the first 2 or 3 weeks Googling everything I could. Breast cancer, hair loss, chemo, triple negative. Don't do that. Do not Google and zone in on all the worst statements and conditions, because I had myself worked up into a frenzy. So actually, I think that's a whole other video about how to deal with cancer and chemotherapy, and maybe how to help your friends that are going through it. So I'll do that one next time. But take care of yourself, be kind to each other, and if you are going through this, reach out and I'll do what I can to help you. And take care.